What would you do if a little girl appeared in the middle of a freezing park clutching a newborn baby, and when you asked their names, they matched the ones you had once chosen for the children? You never had Logan Carter, a young billionaire, with everything money could buy but nothing truly meaningful left in his heart, never expected that a late-night walk would change his life forever. But that night under the dim lights of Lincoln Park, he came face to face with a trembling 6-year-old girl named Lily, and the fragile newborn in her arms named Caleb. Those names weren't random. They were the names Logan and his lost love, Emily, had dreamed of giving their children before she vanished without a trace 6 years ago. Was this a cruel coincidence or a twist of fate pulling him toward a truth buried deep in the past? Stay with us as we unravel a story of mystery, heartbreak, rediscovery, and one impossible question. What if the family you thought you'd lost forever had been waiting for you all along? It was past midnight when Logan Carter left his office tower in Manhattan. The city, though still humming with traffic and late-night chatter, felt hollow to him. Billionaire tech mogul Forbes' cover boy, that's what they called him. But under the designer coat and carefully polished life was a man aching for something real. He didn't know why he took the long way home that night through Lincoln Park. Maybe it was instinct, maybe fate. The cold bit through his gloves as he passed rows of empty benches and barren trees swaying in the winter wind. That's when he heard it, a soft, broken cry. Not quite a baby's wail, not quite a child's whimper, something in between. He stopped, heart-tightening eyes scanning the shadows. Then he saw her. A little girl no older than 6 sat curled against the wooden bench, shielding something in her arms. She had dark, tangled hair and bare fingers trembling around a bundle of blankets. And from within that bundle, the faint sound of a newborn crying broke through the wind. Logan took a cautious step forward. "Hey, are you okay?" The girl's startled eyes wide with fear. "Don't come closer," she warned, voice shaking, but firm. He raised his hands. "It's okay. I just want to help. You shouldn't be out here in the cold." The bundle in her arms squirmed and cried harder. She rocked it awkwardly, trying her best. "What's your name?" Logan asked gently. And the baby A paused. Her lips trembled. "I'm Lily. This is my brother, Caleb." Logan froze. The world around him seemed to tilt. Lily, Caleb. Those were the names he and Emily had picked 6 years ago. On a rainy Sunday afternoon, curled on a couch, she had said Lily for a girl. "It means purity." He had smiled. "And if it's a boy, Caleb," she had answered, "it means faithful, peaceful." They had dreamt of a family once, until Emily vanished without a word. His knees buckled. He gripped the side of the bench, struggling to breathe as memories stabbed through him like cold wind. Could it be a coincidence? Was this some kind of twisted joke from the universe? Sir Lily's voice pulled him back. "Are you sick?" He wiped his face, trying to hide the tears. "I'm fine. I'm sorry, it's just... Those names mean a lot to me." Caleb let out a cry again, louder this time. Lily's composure wavered. "You've been here long?" Logan asked. She nodded. "Since it got dark." "That's dangerous," he said softly, "and far too cold." Caleb could get sick. Lily glanced at the baby in her arms, and her brave little mask cracked for a moment. Her lips trembled. "We didn't have anywhere else to go." Logan made a decision then. Not because he was rich, not because it was charitable, but because something inside him, a voice he hadn't heard in years, told him he was meant to find them. "I live nearby," he said. "A safe place. Warm. I have food and blankets. You and Caleb can come rest." Lily hesitated. Her eyes darted through the darkness. "Will you take care of us?" she asked quietly. He nodded. "I will. I promise." She studied his face for a long moment, and then finally, reluctantly, she gave a small nod. Logan slipped off his coat and carefully wrapped Caleb in its warmth. Then, in a gesture he hadn't done in years, he reached out his hand. Lily took it. They walked together through the icy streets, Logan carrying the tiny squirming bundle. Caleb's cries softened, soothed by warmth and movement. Lily gripped Logan's fingers tightly, glancing back at her brother every few steps. When they reached the towering penthouse building, Lily stopped at the entrance, staring up. "You live here, top floor," Logan said. He smiled, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. "Come on." Inside the elevator, Lily stood tense and alert, like a deer ready to flee. Her little hand never left Logan's. When the doors opened straight into the sleek penthouse, she gasped. Glass walls, white marble floors, and silent stillness. It looked more like a showroom than a home, but tonight it would become a sanctuary. "Let's take care of Caleb first," Logan said, switching on the heat. He placed the baby gently on the plush sofa and turned to Lily. "Is he hungry?" She nodded. "I'll run to the pharmacy nearby and grab formula bottles, whatever you need. Will you be okay for just a few minutes?" Lily's eyes flickered with fear. "You'll come back right?" Logan knelt to her level. "I swear, I'll be back before you can count to 100. She nodded slowly. Logan sprinted through the cold streets faster than he had in years. He came back loaded with bags, formula diapers, bottles, and food. Inside, Lily hadn't moved from her post beside Caleb. "He's still crying," she said. "Let's fix that." Logan prepared the bottle, testing it on his wrist, like he'd seen in a movie. Then he offered it to Lily. "I'll do it," she said, taking it like she'd done it 100 times. He watched in awe as this 6-year-old fed her baby brother with the precision of someone far beyond her years. She cradled him, hummed softly, wiped his cheek. "You're amazing," Logan said. She didn't answer, just stared down at the baby. "I have to be." There was so much pain behind those words. "Lily," he said gently, "Caleb needs to see a doctor. Just a quick checkup to make sure he's okay. I'll be with you the whole time." She stiffened. "They're not going to take him away, are they?" "No," Logan said. "Not while I'm around." Later that night, after the house call from the pediatrician who confirmed Caleb was about 2 weeks old and healthy, Logan helped draw a bath for the baby. Lily instructed him like a tiny general. "Support his neck like this. Don't let the water get in his ears." Logan had to laugh. "Yes, ma'am." She cracked the faintest smile. That night he showed her to the guest room. He'd emptied a dresser drawer and lined it with fresh sheets, a makeshift crib. Lily's face softened when she saw it, like a little nest. "Yes," Logan replied, "a cozy little nest for Caleb." She laid her brother down, then climbed onto the bed, one hand never leaving Caleb's side. "You must be tired," Logan said, pulling the covers over her. "I have to take care of him," she murmured. "I'll stay right here," he promised, settling in the armchair. And as she finally surrendered to sleep, still guarding her brother in dreams, Logan sat quietly watching, listening, feeling. He didn't know what tomorrow would bring, but tonight 2 little souls had crashed into his life, and he knew he'd never be the same. We're so sorry to interrupt the story here, but we hope you understand it's only just beginning. Tell us, if you were Logan, would you have taken Lily and Caleb home with you that night? Do you think these 2 children are part of something bigger? Something meant to happen? Also, we'd love to know, where are you watching from? If you're touched by this story so far, give us a like and share it with someone who believes in fate. The next morning, Logan woke to the sound of Lily humming softly in the guest room. He cracked open the door and found her sitting cross-legged on the bed, Caleb cradled in her arms, feeding quietly. The early light painted her tiny frame in gold. But what struck Logan most was the stillness in her eyes, like she'd been living far too long in survival mode. He brought her a plate of pancakes and asked casually, "Do you like cartoons?" Her face lit up. "Mom used to let me watch cartoons while we ate breakfast, but only on Sundays." Logan smiled. "Well, lucky for us, it's Sunday." They sat on the couch, Caleb sleeping nearby, the TV playing something animated. Logan asked gently, "Lily, what's your mom's name?" She didn't hesitate. "Emily." His stomach turned. Emily. It was her. The woman who vanished 6 years ago without a word. The woman he had planned a future with. The woman who, for reasons he never understood, disappeared with nothing but silence in her place. "She teaches piano," Lily added, innocently swirling syrup with her fork. "She says music makes the world feel softer." Logan's heart nearly stopped. Emily was a pianist. She used to say the exact same thing. Lily kept talking. "Our apartment's small, 1 bedroom. I sleep with Mom and Caleb sleeps in a tiny crib next to us." "Where is it?" Logan asked, keeping his voice steady. "Near Big Trees Park," she said. "Mom says it's not fancy, but it's home." Logan stood up slowly, went into the kitchen and grabbed his phone. He stepped away to make a few calls, hospitals near that area. He gave no last name, only a first and vague details. On the fourth call, a voice on the other end said, "Yes, we have a patient named Emily. She was admitted 2 weeks ago. Post-birth complications. She's currently in the ICU." Logan's voice cracked. "Can you tell me her condition? I'm afraid we can't release more information unless you're a relative. I'm taking care of her children." There was a pause. "In that case," the voice said gently, "you may want to come in. Bring the children and any documentation you have." Logan hung up, hands shaking. He walked back into the living room. Lily was drawing a house with stick figures herself, Caleb and someone with brown hair. "Logan." "Lily," he said, kneeling beside her. I think I may have found your mom." Her eyes widened. "Really? Where is she?" "At a hospital. Not far. We'll go first thing tomorrow morning." She jumped forward, flinging her arms around his neck in a sudden, fierce hug. "Thank you," she whispered, voice muffled against his shirt. That night, Logan couldn't sleep. He sat by the window with Caleb curled on his chest and Lily asleep on the couch nearby. The silence of the city pressed in around him. How had everything changed in just 2 days? And yet, somehow it all felt right. The next morning, Lily dressed in the simple blue dress Logan had picked up the day before. He helped buckle Caleb into a car seat and packed everything a newborn might need. The drive was quiet, Lily humming softly beside him. When they arrived at St. Mary's Medical Center, the lobby was bustling. Logan approached the reception desk. "We're looking for Emily," he said. "She was admitted 2 weeks ago. ICU." "Are you a relative?" the woman asked. Before Logan could answer, Lily stepped forward. "We're her kids," she said bravely. "I'm Lily. This is my brother, Caleb." The woman looked at her, then at Logan. "And you, sir, I'm a close friend," he said. After a tense moment, they were led upstairs. The elevator ride was silent. Lily's small hand gripped his tightly. At the ICU, a nurse led them to a quiet waiting room. "The doctor will speak with you first," she explained. Dr. Jonathan Wells entered moments later, clipboard in hand. "Emily's stable, but she's in a medically induced coma," he said gently. "She suffered a serious hemorrhage during delivery. We had to put her under to allow the body to recover." "Will she wake up?" Lily asked, her voice barely audible. The doctor crouched down. "She's strong. She's fighting. And I think hearing your voice might help." Logan swallowed hard. "Can we see her?" The doctor nodded. 15 minutes. Be prepared. There are a lot of machines. It might be scary." Lily didn't blink. "I want to see her." Inside the room, the beep of heart monitors echoed in the still air. Emily lay motionless, her skin pale against the white sheets. Tubes, IVs, machines surrounded her. Lily froze, then took one small step forward. "Mom," she whispered, "it's me. I brought Caleb." She reached out gently, placing her hand on Emily's fingers. Logan stood back, Caleb in his arms. His throat tightened at the sight. "Hi, Emily," he said, his voice cracking. "It's been a long time." He stepped forward and slowly leaned down, letting Caleb rest beside her. And for a moment, everything felt still, complete. "We're so sorry to pause here, but this is where the story must take a breath. Tell us, if you were Logan, would you have told Lily the truth right now or waited? Do you believe Emily will wake up soon? We'd love to know, where are you watching this from? If this story has touched your heart, please tap like and share it with someone who still believes in second chances. The days that followed were filled with hope and quiet waiting. Every morning, Logan brought Lily and Caleb to the hospital. Lily would sit beside her mother's bed, holding her hand, whispering stories about their new life. How Caleb smiled more now, how Logan made pancakes like Mom used to, and how there was a piano in the living room just waiting for her to come back and play it again. Emily didn't move, but Logan noticed subtle changes. Her breathing grew steadier. Her fingers twitched ever so slightly when Lily spoke. Dr. Wells called them promising signs, but for Logan, they were more than that. They were signs of life, signs that Emily was still fighting her way back. Then one Tuesday morning it happened. Lily was humming softly beside the bed, Caleb asleep in Logan's arms, when Emily's fingers moved again, this time, more intentionally. Then her eyes fluttered. Slowly, with visible effort, they opened. Logan froze. Lily gasped. "Mom," she whispered, tears rushing into her voice. Emily blinked against the light, disoriented. Her lips parted. "Lily?" That one word shattered the silence. Lily burst into tears, grabbing her mother's hand. "You're awake." "You came back." Logan stood behind them, heart pounding. Emily turned to look at him. "Logan," she murmured. "How?" He stepped forward, voice cracking. "I found them. In Lincoln Park. Lily and Caleb." Emily's eyes filled with tears. "They're okay." "They're more than okay," he said. "You gave them everything. Now it's my turn to help you." In the days that followed, Emily slowly recovered her strength. Logan rearranged his entire life, turned his guest room into a nursery, converted his office into a piano studio. Lily returned to sleeping peacefully for the first time in months, and Caleb, now smiling more often, became the heart of their little family. One evening, after Lily had fallen asleep and Caleb was dozing in his crib, Emily and Logan sat together on the balcony watching the city lights. "I never meant to disappear," she said softly. "I found out I was pregnant right after I left. I didn't know how to tell you. Then my sister needed me. She was in trouble and suddenly everything spiraled. By the time I thought of coming back, it had been too long. I thought, maybe you had moved on." Logan took her hand. "I never did. Not really. I looked for you every day, wondering, wishing. But now, you're here, and they're here. That's what matters." Emily looked at him, her voice catching. "Do you think we could be a family again? For real this time?" He didn't answer with words. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small, simple box. Emily's eyes widened. "Logan, I know this wasn't the path we imagined, but maybe it's the one we needed to take to find our way back to each other. Emily Monroe, will you marry me not because we have to, but because I never stopped loving you?" Tears slid down her cheeks as she whispered, "Yes." The wedding was held 3 months later in a quiet garden just outside New York City. Lily wore a pale pink dress and proudly carried the rings. Caleb was carried down the aisle in Logan's arms. Emily walked barefoot through the grass to meet them at the altar. It was simple, imperfect, real, and it was perfect. Back at home, they began building a life that felt brand new, even though it had roots buried deep in the past. Logan left the corporate boardroom behind and began working remotely, often with Caleb napping on his chest. Emily began teaching piano again, her fingers rediscovering melodies once lost to exhaustion and silence. And Lily, she bloomed. She rode her bike down tree-lined streets, laughed from her belly, and played duets with her mom on the living room piano. One evening, Logan tucked her into bed. She reached up and touched his cheek. "Dad," she whispered for the first time, "will you stay until I fall asleep?" He nodded, sitting beside her as she drifted off. Later that night, as Emily closed the lid on the piano and leaned her head on Logan's shoulder, he whispered, "Do you ever think everything happened exactly the way it had to?" Emily smiled. Sometimes the hardest journeys lead to the most beautiful places, and there in the soft glow of a home that had once been silent, now full of laughter, lullabies, and second chances, Logan knew one thing for certain. This was his real legacy. Not the business empire, not the headlines, but the family he almost lost, then found again. We're sorry to pause here, but this is the end of our story for now. Now tell us, do you believe in second chances in love and family like Logan and Emily found? What moment in this story touched your heart the most, and what did you think of this story? If you loved it, comment no. 3 below. If it was just okay, type number 2. If you feel it didn't quite connect, leave number 1. We want to improve for you. Also, let us know, what country are you watching from? Please like, share, and tap the heart if this story made you feel something deep. Thank you for watching.